So next we're going to look at the HTTP not found handler, and this is super useful because we're going to get into some examples like working with cookies or redirects or sessions, and we want to know how when browsers ask for a fav icon to tell it to go pound sand, or basically, hey, this has not been found. And so if we go to our documentation and we look at godoc.net HTTP, we have the not found handler. And that's under type handler because it returns a handler. So if something asks for a handler, you can run this function and it puts a handler right there. The not found handler returns a simple request handler that replies to each request with a 404 page not found reply. Cool. We could click on that code and we could look at it. Here's the not found handler. So not found handler returns a handler, and here's the code. It returns a handler func not found. Whoa, that's kind of cool. So we can continue to click through that on this here. So not found handler returns a handler, and the handler is handler func not found. So not found's got to be a function, and it's right there. Response writer and request, and it says error, right? W 404 page not found, status not found, which is the 404. So the error deal is right here. An error takes a response writer, an error string, which is this, and the code, right? It's a HTTP error. And then it sets the content type, text plain, charset UTF-8, X content type options, no sniff, write header, writes a header, writes the code, and then at print line, W and error. Pretty cool. So that's good. So if anything comes in at /favicon.ico, it says, hey, not found. So let's see this run without it. And so here, handler func, and I'm going to change this to foo. Yeah, foo. It's not serving the image of a dog, which is kind of what we were doing before. Foo, it's going to print line the request URL and then say, go look at your terminal. So the print line is the request URL, and that'll show up in the terminal. Request URL gives us a URL, and then URL is here, and we could do path. And URL struct, let's look at that in the documentation for a second. Godoc, net HTTP, and we have HTTP handle func, and handle func is a request, and a request has a URL, and URL is right here, and it has scheme, opaque, user path, raw, force query. I'm just wanting to see type URL has string right here, so when you have just the URL, it runs this method by default. When you ask it for, where a string is needed, it runs that method. It's like an automatic thing. All right, so I'm going to try, but I think it'd be more clear. I'm just going to put this in here instead and see what that does. .path. No, because it's sometimes not going to be showing that. Because then it would just change. Yeah, we'll try this. All right. .path, and we'll be explicit. Cool. All right, let's run it. Control C, change directories, change directories, change directories into 025. Go run main. Go look at your terminal. 2 requests came in. Came in at root, and then a request came in for favicon, ICO, because I'm not handling it. And if I refresh this page, again, refresh this page, again. All right, so every time I refresh this page, it's asking for the favicon. That is Chrome. Chrome really likes favicon. Firefox doesn't ask for the favicon quite like that as much. But Chrome is always like, show me the favicon. So if we turn this on, and then restart, and then go make our request, So now what's happening is when something comes in for that, we say not found handler, and we just respond not found. And so we're not going and doing this. We are handling the request, but that handle is, hey, we don't have this. And so that's useful when we look at some things down where we don't want a favicon request coming in. So that's a not found handler.